Hi, guys. I'm Coach Blevins. I'm the offensive coordinator at Western New Mexico University. Uh, I got here about 2.5 months ago, and excited to share some of my stuff with you guys. Some of the stuff is from a few jobs ago, kind of mixed in. But this concept that we're going to go over is commonly called smash switch. We've called it a couple different things. We've called it, just depending on the offense that we've ran and the way we've called things. So really how you want to call it is up to you guys. But essentially, all we have is a flat and what some people call switch corner. I've heard it called a circus route. Okay. I've heard it called a burst route, a bench route, switch corner route, an outside corner route. But really, whatever you call it doesn't really matter. As long as it fits your system. And the playbook clip I'm using, we don't use anymore, but it's called, we called it Sharks back then. And you can do it off a sprint out. You can do it off of, drop back. I've done it with both. So really, let's get to it. Okay. So the reason I wanted to share this concept with you guys is simple. Most of you guys have a background with it, but what we did is we added a second layer to it. A lot of people just want to run, release inside, push vertical, and then run the out breaking route, whether it's a corner or an out. We added a curl route onto it. And the reason that we did that, okay, is that most commonly people want to run the smash switch, or I'm going to call it the burst concept, just for clarity for everybody. That's what we're just going to call it right now. Okay, so the burst concept, people run this burst concept to beat too high. More specifically, cover two. Okay, and what we wanted a more flexible concept if we got one high. So because that kind of changes the dynamic of the concept itself. So we made it a read for the outside receiver. Okay. So now that being said, all right, when you look at these, we have two pictures here. One is a zone look and one is a man look. And we allowed our receivers in this particular season to communicate this play before the snap. Okay. If they saw it was zone, they knew it was going to be picture one. Okay. And since they are switching releases, okay, then we are going to have picture two and man, because if they are switching releases, they're crossing each other. And if they're crossing each other, then it's definitely going to set a situation up to set a pick, okay, very specifically like down here. All right, so when they communicate to each other that they have a lock coverage, a man look, then we know right now that the outside receiver's angle is going to be taken directly in to the guy playing man over the number two receiver. All right. And we want to force him to go over simply, okay, because we're running a flat route or an out route. Okay. That way we keep the defender away from where the ball's going to land. All right. And then after that, there is no read. We're going to break out. That way we're breaking away from any possible safety. Okay. And if we're taking a guy in, we're gonna be in a usually a good position to come right back out and have some room as well. All right. So that's kind of the generic explanation of it. All right. Now the first route is we called it burst. Its depth is 10 to 12 yards. Okay. We're gonna take 4 steps in. That's what this release is. 4 steps, and then 4 steps up. Okay, which should make your inside foot plant. Okay, allowing you to break out. Okay. Or it should allow you to be in a position to break down and put your outside foot down and run a curl, okay? But our read specifically for that route is the corner, okay, as you can see here. Now, we don't keep him locked into running this angle. If the corner's real high, then we can turn this into a speed out, okay? If it's cover two and the corner's down where my mouse is, then we can turn it again into a burst. All right, we're going to fit the angle to the DB. Okay, now, when would we run the curl, guys? Okay, the curl would be if the corner is sitting outside but flat-footed, roughly at our depth, like where my mouse is. There'd be no way you could run any out-breaking route to where this little mouse is, where this hand is, okay, that could be open. If you take it skinny, he can jump up with you. If you take it flat, he can jump in front of the ball. All right, so then if that guy is outside of you, then we're going to curl up. And really what that enables, what really that takes care of is one high coverages. Because if you release in, a cover 3 corner is going to push in with you, but he's going to stay outside. Okay? Cover 4 doesn't always work like that. A lot of teams play cover 4 where if 2 runs an out, the corner will jump it, and it becomes similar to cover 2. Okay? Some call it 2 read. Okay? Some call it cover 4 palms. All right? But it kind of, this way, it kind of takes care of it. If the corner's real deep, we can just run it out anyways. And if he's real shallow, we can run this corner, right? But if he's in the middle somewhere and we can't run that out route, then we're just going to hook up, because that means that someone else, the flat defender, and hopefully chasing the flat route. All right. Now the number 2's route is what we call flat. It's 4 steps. Okay. So he should take an angle for 4 steps and then break out. Okay. And not a very good picture here. All right. But that's what it is. All right. And it's going to be a slight angle out, and then he'll break out off of it. All right. But he is not going to read the corner. He's just going to run. He's not going to read the flat defender. He's just going to run. We have to stretch whoever the flat defender may be, whether it's the corner or the guy who's relating to the 2 receiver. Okay. Now, from a quarterback standpoint, guys, I'm going to share the whiteboard here. From a cover 2 or from a quarterback standpoint, we have 2 receivers. Okay. There's really 2 pictures that are possible. Okay. One where the corner is in the flat. I'm talking about zone here. And one where the corner is not in the flat. Okay. Okay. Now, if the corner, we do not anticipate to be in the flat, we think he's a vertical player. Okay. Occupying a vertical space on the field. Okay. Then our read is going to be the flat defender. Okay. However, if we think that the corner is the flat defender, that will be our read. Okay. So that being said, if he backs up, then this guy will make you right by either curling up or running his out-breaking route. Okay. Because if he's way deep, then we can win the out and still put the flat defender in bind. He can take the flat and give up this. Okay. Or the flat defender can take this and give up the flat route. Right. Same thing if he wants to stay outside leverage but flat-footed. That'll initiate a curl route, and then it's curl flat on a flat defender, which he takes the flat, you got the curl. He takes the curl, you got the flat. Then obviously if we think the corner is going to be the flat defender, all right, then we're going to read him. He jumps up, we're going to throw this out route because he's obviously out of position. If he jumps the flat, then we're going to work the burst route, okay, because we should have leverage on the safety. All right. Now, when you add a read in here, they're not always right, but they are going to get themselves to space, okay? So whenever you're reading routes, it's not always perfect, but usually the player is going to make a decision to make themselves open. So either way, it works out, all right? So normally, if I just write down these rules right here for you guys to see, okay, if we get 1 high, our read is almost certainly going to be the anticipated flat defender, okay? And if we get 2 high, most likely, okay, so here I'm gonna kind of abbreviate this. I guess I don't know how to initiate that. That's right. And by anticipated flat defender, guys, I mean, or like where this nickel is, right? It's not the corner. We're reading the guy who is usually inside of 2, which we call the 2 relator. Okay. Now let me redo this text thing. Okay. Now I'm 2 high. Usually, okay, the read is going to be the corner. Okay. And that's the best way to go about it. All right. And something that may help you guys immensely. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put LB / safety. Okay. / nickel, whoever that may be, that guy in that 2 relator position. All right. But one of the ways, guys, to help you all distinguish between cover 4 and cover 2, especially when trying to decide who the flat defender is, no matter what concept you're running, is what's called low triangle, high triangle. And I can't take credit for this. I got this from Doug Meacham when I listened to him speak at a clinic. Okay. If we break the field down into sides, we have a corner, we have a linebacker, and we have a safety, right? Then we have 2 receivers. Okay. And here's the lineman, right? But we're just talking about half the field picture. All right. In this instance, we would have what's called a low triangle because 2 guys are low. Okay. That equals, okay, a low triangle. All right. With that being said, that means that the corner is most likely in the flat. That's why he's low. Okay. Now let's talk about, and that would initiate in 2 high, definitely a corner read. Okay. Now let's undo that. Okay. Okay, now we have what's called a high triangle. Okay, now the corner's higher. Okay, what this would tell us is that since the corner's higher up, all right, then most likely this guy's the flat defender. Okay, we're getting some kind of cover 4. So this would be a high triangle. Okay, and that's one of the easiest ways for your quarterbacks. I'm just going to abbreviate it. High triangle. That's going to be one of the easiest ways for your quarterbacks to distinguish between cover 2 and cover 4 and help you guys kind of figure out who the flat defender is, especially in 2 high. So in 2 high, we're pretty much going to tell them to read the corner. All right. Depending on game plan, if we're seeing a mix of cover 4 and 2, then we're going to really talk high and low triangle. Okay. But if we're just seeing a lot of generic 2 high, like a lot of cover 2 and cover 3, then we're just going to say, hey, listen, 2 high, read the corner. 1 high, you're going to read the flat defender because the corner is obviously not the flat defender. All right. So that's how we read this concept. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see this. All right, now we're almost all, if you don't know the coverage, maybe you drop the snap, right? Okay, so reading a zone movement key, reading defenders off. All right, then what's important is that you still have a progression. We always progress, okay, the first break to the second, at least in this concept. Okay, so we're always working the flat to the burst route. All right, because the flat's going to develop first and pull defenders before the burst is finished running his route. Okay, so that should sync up your timing with your eyes. So you should see the flat route develop. It's by the time you realize it's not open, okay, you should be finding the burst route by the time it's breaking, since it is a deeper, longer developing route. All right, same thing with in a man situation. All right, so you're gonna, in this one you'll just progress because we're setting a pick for the flat. Okay, there is no read on a defender, so I'm just reading the flat route. Okay, which should come open, and just in case it doesn't, okay, I'm going to throw the burst route, which should be locked into an outbreak. It'll definitely take much longer to develop, all right, being that he's got to set a pick first, all right? Now, something to help you guys trying to distinguish between man and zone. We'll talk about this when we watch the film, but, it's all about the depth, eyes, and alignment of the DBs. Okay, what's their depth? If they're 7-8 yards away, it's probably not man. Unless it's 3rd and forever and they want to play man to man on 3rd and forever. Okay. But it probably isn't, right? If their eyes are looking inside and their hips are facing the quarterback, it's definitely not man. Okay. If they're aligned outside, probably not man, right? But you got to look at the depth. Say they're 2 yards, 2 yards deep. Their eyes are on the outside receiver if it's a corner, and then alignment. Okay. He's head up to just a slight inside shade. All right. There's a lot of indicators there that it's man, but depth, eyes, and alignment. Okay. Now that being said, let's watch some film. All right. Now, when we're talking 2 high, right, we're thinking that the corner is going to be the zone movement key because we think he's the flat defender. All right, and we're gonna sprint out this way. Okay. So we have our flat route here, and then we have our burst route here. Okay. And one of the reasons, guys, I like burst better than smash, okay, is that your shorter route is always running away from a flat defender. It's always running out. All right. And smash, okay, the outside guy would be your flat threat, but he would just be standing there. So if the 2 relator was if this guy was the flat defender for some reason, he could get through the corner route, okay, and get into the throwing lane because he's not moving. Yeah, he can drift out a little bit, but that's not the same as running out. Okay. Also, in cover 2 versus smash, his job is to apex both these guys. Okay. So that he can play his deep half. Well, if he's going to be here by the time the corner route is here, okay, that means he's going to have leverage on any outbreaking route. But that's not the same as this. Because if he comes in, okay, he's going to still be out, even if he tries to apex their original alignments, he's still going to be breaking at a point where he's outside of the safety. Okay, so you're always going to have leverage on the outbreak. All right. But that's one of the reasons I like this concept so much, especially versus too high, instead of smash. All right, I get it's easy to throw a hitch, but it's also easy to throw a 4-step out route. All right, now let's think about this in terms of low and high triangle. This is most definitely a low triangle because both guys are low. He's super low, right? So we're thinking that this is most definitely the flat defender, okay? So that's who we're going to read, all right? So now he gets to his 4-step. He's going to push up. And again, he's got leverage on this safety. Okay. So we got 2 guys on this one right here. All right. In cover 2, this should be the hook curl defender. So he's looking for the curl. All right. Now, again, he is reading him. He doesn't care about the safety. He's reading him. Right. He takes the out route. He knows he has space. Okay. To work between those 2. All right. Now, this corner tries to play in the middle. And we should have thrown on time and just put it on him right now, okay? And just taken the 5-yard gain for a first down on 3rd and 6. I'm sorry, a 6-yard gain. He's a little, maybe 7, right? He's just past the sticks, okay? So that should have been an easy first down. Now we end up getting it because he kind of plays this thing out, and we make a good catch here. But overall, guys, like that's what we want. We want to put 2 guys on a bracket and keep another guy stuck, or 1 guy on a bracket and keep another guy stuck inside. Okay, we want to beat everyone else with leverage. All right, so that's an easy read for the quarterback. Okay, it's also an easy read for the receivers. All right, so here we have another low triangle. It's too high. Okay, definitely a lot of indicators of cover 2. Real wide splits between them. Okay, these guys are real far down. Right, so this is definitely a low triangle here. Okay, at the base here. Okay, got a low triangle. Thinking cover 2. So this is our read. All right. That being said, we're sprinting out this way. So you should go in, up, and then out or curl it. Okay. Most likely we should run out. This is also the first time we ever ran this in a game. So we didn't run it right. Okay. So we get in 4, we push up. And right now this should have been a very clear outbreak. But again, this is our first time running it. All right. And he ends up hooking up though. And that's what I was saying, guys. Sometimes they don't read it just like you would think, but they still get themselves space. All right. And that's a pretty easy, well-timed 15-yard gain. Okay. Without a lot of headache. All right. So, and one thing to note here is whenever we sprint out, guys, we always have the backside away from the sprint out. Okay. We do what's called DDR. I learned that at OPSU from, my head coach there is Russell Gaskamp. Okay, he's at Franklin Pierce in New Hampshire now, a Division II school, and our OC at that time, Lucas Peters, he's at a high school in Louisiana, and they both swore up and down that we had to do this, and ever since I did it, we kept doing it. But DDR stands for Dance Dance Revolution, which means that they're worthless on the backside, and our guys absolutely loved it. So here's our guy getting a little dance in, and most of the time the defenders don't really know what to do about it. And sometimes they choreograph it, which I think one is choreographed in here. But it's something fun. I mean, football's a fun game. It's supposed to be fun. And if you think that we have to be serious and, it's the end of the world if they don't run routes. Okay, well, we set the NAI passing record in this game right here and threw for 732 yards. And we had multiple times with guys dancing. So we can set a record with guys dancing. Okay, doesn't hurt to let the guys have some fun where it's allowed. Now, that's the only play we do that on, but our guys freaking loved it, man. Okay, so again, we have another too high look, another low triangle. Okay, and I believe we're sprinting out here to the left again. Okay, and I think that we take this as an outbreak. Okay. Okay, so here, this would be a good instance of where he needs to curl. Because no matter what corner he runs, okay, he's not going to be open. And also, this ended up being a cover 4 look. Okay, so this guy's right in the perfect situation where if he runs this, he'll take it. Or if he runs here, he'll undercut it. Okay, so just curl it up because there is a window here. And this is, again, the flat defender. If he takes this, which he doesn't, he leaves this wide open. But if he does take it, he should be next to him and not here, which would make the curl wide open. Okay, so instead of talking about coverage with the guys, you want them to just see the corner. If the corner's down, then run the corner route. Corner's way high, turn it into a speed out route. If the corner's in the middle, hook it up. Okay, if I'm not going to be open, hook it up. Okay. So here, the flat defender's in no place to cover the flat. Okay, and they're tired of getting this thrown on them, so we just they try to push the corner back, so we just throw the out route. Again, that's another easy 7-yard gain, okay, on a first down. I believe this is I think we're rolling left again. Okay, and here we have a little bit higher triangle. It's kind of in the middle somewhere. So if I don't know, guys, and I'm the quarterback, always tell them in too high to read the corner if they don't know. It's better safe than sorry. Okay. Same thing here. So the corner's triggering by the time he breaks, so I thought he was more right on this one. So again, we hit the same route the same way. Okay. Here's the same concept again, last one versus a cover 2 look. But here they ran a lot of 0 versus us. So they're trying to bait us into thinking it's cover 0. Okay. So we have this here, which again is a good cover 0 look because then we can just set a pick or he'll be too far away from the out. Okay. But they saw it as zone, which I didn't disagree with them. Okay. Just because they started bailing back. And again, we got too high. We're rolling this way. So we're definitely going to read the corner here, especially with the low triangle. Okay. And again, when in doubt, read the corner. All right. And we get another easy little hole shot. So this is a very high efficiency play. Okay. Now here we get a cover 3 type look. Okay. They're rocking both safeties down. Okay. So again, if it's 1 high, then this is going to be the read, the guy we anticipate to be the flat defender, which is usually the farthest outside second level defender, whether it's a nickel, a safety, or a linebacker, depending on the rotation of the safeties. Okay. So here, this linebacker, this safety, he kind of takes his time. So we're just throwing a quick out right now. Okay. That's a quick 8-yard gain on 2nd and 10. Okay, you can call that all day long. So here, this is a really good reaction by him because he's about to break down, and this guy's in a position to take away any outbreak. So he just curls. Okay, but the ball's already gone, so it doesn't matter anyways. But that would be a great time to curl up. Okay, they had 3 shots for this. This team had a lot of money. Okay, now here's an instance we have 1 high. Okay, but now let's look at the situation. This is why it's important to have the receivers. Okay, communicate. We're rolling out to the right. All right. And if you look at the defenders, look at the depth, eyes, and alignment of the defenders. The depth, 2 yards. Okay, that's not anything different than we've been seeing. Okay, now the safeties have changed. Now the eyes, though, and the alignment head up to inside, but then look at the other guy. Depth, 5 yards. Eyes at him. Look at the alignment. And the hips are always key, guys. Their hips are really not going to lie to you. If their hips are facing this way in, it's zone. But once the guys over the slots really put all 3 aspects at the receivers, their eyes, their depth, and their alignment, and I guess the 4th one, their hips, that's really going to tell you that it's man. So they very wisely communicated man here. Okay? And so he's going to run in here and try to make him jump over the top. And what's going to happen here is he'll actually delay to allow this guy to come in here. All right, which will make the pick easier. As you saw that delay right there by number 2, give him a little delay just to get him running. Okay, get his angle set, and that will help set the pick. And he comes in here and makes the guy jump over the top. Now he needs to finish his route, even if it's ugly. Okay. So they try to run man on us in 1st and 10, and that was just a very, very easy, adjustment. So just having everyone trying to fight and win, okay, you may not have the best players, so you need to have different ways to create separation without having the best players. And that setting pick or a rub will definitely allow you to do that, okay? All right, here we have, I believe this is another man look, okay? And you can see him saying it out there because we get the depth eyes and alignment. He's just staring this guy down. Again, looking at this guy. And both these guys are looking at their guys, okay? So this is a two-man situation, all right? So he's going to go in and set a pick for this guy. And this is a good job by the inside guy, kind of delaying and running him right in the pick. Now, we don't make him go over the top, but as long as we get their feet to stop and get out of the way, then we're going to set, okay? We're going to give this guy some space. That was an 8-yard gain on 2nd and 9. Okay, now, again, one of my favorite things is one of my favorite reps from this year is the dance revolution over here. We get a little choreography here. They both doing the Fortnite dance. But hey, you can have some fun while playing football. Okay, I believe that is the top of the presentation. Okay, so this is a very easy concept to implement. If you run smash, then you can run this. You're just switching their responsibilities. Okay, 2 is going to get to the flat where the hitch would have been. Okay, and then 1's going to get to where the corner would have been. Okay, but it also allows you an extra layer to allow a rub when your guys aren't very good at beating man. We don't have the best players. Okay, so that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully this helps, and it's something small that you can add in that's simple and replicatable and you can adjust to most of your opponents using it.